On Friday, the 24th of May, the UK's tallest roller coaster opened to the public. And then it closed again. Hyperia at Thorpe Park took its first ever riders, and I was lucky enough to be there on the golden day and experience this brand new 236 foot tall Mack Rides Hypercoaster. I'm aware this video is coming out quite late. It's almost 2 weeks ago that happened. Anyway. But yes, to begin with, I'm going to talk through the experience of the day. I don't know if that made sense. I'm going to talk through the day. So we got there at 8 in the morning. Obviously not at night. That would be stupid. And we was lucky enough to get in, like past a few of the people already in security, because they opened up like a new security desk right at the end. And they're like, oh, do you want to go over there? And we're like, yeah. So we skipped about 200 people. Sorry about that. Anyway, we got into the park and we were like 2 groups behind Mr. Sean Sambrook, so that was quite funny. But yeah, we got onto the bridge, obviously queuing for Hyperia. It took about 6 hours in total for our first ride. We like when the ride actually had its opening ceremony, we were just outside the taco shop, or just past the like the entrance to where like I can't think what it's called. Where the crows were last year, and the past couple of years, down there, we're basically right next to the taco place. And yeah, we waited 6 hours, like I said, about 4 hours after the ride opened, and then 2 hours before. We managed to get the second row and the back row, which I'll talk about that later, but that was insane. But yeah, so we got our restraints checked, and off we go up the 236 foot tall lift hill. And this lift hill it's quite weird, especially on the front, because you're going up, and I've done taller coasters before, but like we're going up, and I'm thinking, we're still going, and it keeps going. And like, when I thought we was at the top, there's still another 50 foot to go. Like, I've been on Hyperion at Angelandia. That felt like the lift was the right size, like going up, I was like, okay, this feels about right now. But Hyperia was so weird, like we're like halfway up and I'm thinking, okay, we're near the top now. We're not. It's a very cool lift. You can see for miles, especially around the lake. But then you go down the drop, and on the front you're sort of like dangling over the front. It's not hang time, I can't think what's the word I'm looking, like you're leaning over the top. And I mean, that is just how physics work, to be honest. I will talk about the drop more, about the back row ride, because on the front I was a little bit disappointed. That's all I'm gonna say. But on the back, oh, wow. Yeah, you go down the 180 degree twisting beyond vertical drop, very cool drop, and you go up into the Immelman. I don't know if it's actually an inversion, because it's shaped very weirdly. Debate in the comments if you want. You sort of get thrown up into this Immelman. And sorry, I've got a script here, but I'm not actually reading the script. It's basically bullet points of Immelman lift, that sort of thing. You go up into the Immelman and you get sort of, it's not ejector airtime, it's more like floater, but it's like you're getting floater airtime, but then you're getting ejected, thrown sideways as you sort of twist out, sort of lateral. I can't say that word. And yeah, it's very cool. You do get a good pop of airtime going over that, but not as much as the element that comes next, because this thing is, I don't know how John Burton got away with doing this, but the outward banked stall roll thing, that it's nuts. Like, you're thrown sideways going up it, so you're already going quite quick, and it's a bit like if you think of Zadra's wave turn over the station, like the way you get thrown up into it, but then the airtime going over the top of it, it's like 4 seconds of airtime. And I saw this like cool statistic the other day, and it's Voltron throughout its whole ride experience has 2.2 seconds of airtime. You get 4 seconds on this one element on Hyperia. That is insane. On the back row, I'll talk about it more later, but if you put your head back, which is, I did that just see a view, but like, it's very weird because you feel like you're upside down, even though you're not. You're on your side, but then you twist upside down going down. So it's very like you feel like I can't speak. You feel like you're upside down. You then flipped upside down, so that you're twisting a lot. Very cool. John Burton, you're insane. And then you get put into the stall. I don't know, how did I forget that? Yeah, you get put into the stall, or not put into a you know what I mean. Yeah, you go through the stall. I've seen a lot of things about the stall. I'm going to be quite controversial. It's not my favourite stall. I prefer Zadra's stall. Wow. Mainly because of the way that Zadra's stall worked. Like, I know the point of a stall is to be left dangling, but Zadra's, it's got so much power going through it, you don't feel like you're upside down, even though you know you're upside down. Whereas with Hyperia, you are left there in the air, which is good. I do like it. It's probably my second favourite inversion in the world, after Zadra's stall. Is it? It's up there. It's definitely up there. But yeah, the stall, fantastic. I prefer the way you exit Hyperia's stall than you do Zadra's stall, like the way you dive below yourself. That's cool. I just don't like the splashdown. Now I know that the point of the splashdown is to slow you down, because obviously if you're hitting water, you're going to have a sudden jolt forward. I just think it's a bit too much. And I know it needs to slow you down as well, because obviously the brakes are only like a few 100 foot away. Just not a fan of how much it slows you down. The element after is like a bit like Zadra's wave turn over the station, but like you flipped outwards again and back in. I feel like if you took that with a bit more speed, it'll be a lot better, and definitely more so with the final airtime hill, because on the back there isn't much airtime there. Like, the train's already slowed down because the front half is in the brakes, so you don't really get anything. On the front you do get a bit more. It reminded me a little bit of Ride to Happiness's final hill, which does throw you out your seat. That's not what I'm saying, but just the way you're in a Mack train going into the brakes with a hill, I quite like that. But yeah, I'm going to talk about the back row ride now, because it's just insane. Yeah, so we got in the station, and we had just been talking to Dominic Gardner in the queue, and we go up, and they're like, oh, how many? And I'm like, oh, 2. Oh, back row please. And I was like, okay. I was not expecting to get a back row or a front row. We obviously didn't get a front row, but we got close enough. And yeah, the back row, we were waiting in the station though for about 10 minutes because it broke down. Probably even longer than that, to be honest, 20 minutes. Yeah, it broke down. Saw also got evacuated from its mid-course brake run, which is quite funny. I think I got a clip of that. I don't know if I did. I might have done. I'll put it in if I did. But yeah, we got in the station, in the air gates for the back row, and they're like, oh sorry, it's gone down. And we're thinking, oh god, I'm not going to get a ride. Oh no, oh no. We got on the back. The way you take that drop, falling, obviously the front half has gone down already. You are then thrown over the top, and it reminds me a lot of Zadra's drop on the back. But yeah, going down that drop, twisting, beyond vertical on the back, insane. There is no other drop like it. It is nuts. On the front, a little bit let down. On the back, incredible. But yeah, you then go into the Immelman again. More air time on the back, very good. The stall thing again, like I said, put your neck back and like look out over the ocean. Look out over the lake. The stall, obviously it was later on in the day when we did this back row ride. It was running through it a lot quicker. Preferred that, but then the trims slow you down a lot more. Like I say, at the final hill on the back, you don't get as much air time. But that wave turn, very good on the back, like just before the final hill. But yeah, the ride in general, really enjoyed it. It's very good. Is it world class standard? I'm gonna say no. Is it European level standard? Yes. Like, if you think of world class standards as, you know, Iron Gwazi, Zadra. I know Zadra's in Europe, but if you think about rides like those, I don't think it compares. But if you're looking at other rides such as, you know, the ones we have in the UK, a few other ones in, like, you know, France, I was going to say Belgium, but Belgium have Ride to Happiness, and that, if you can't tell from that picture there, I quite like Ride to Happiness. yeah, it's up there as one of the best. Definitely best in the UK. There's no argument with that. I think it's either top. It's in the top 10. It's in the top 5, I think. Is it number 3 or number 4? I don't. Do I? It's up there. I'll have to do a top 10 video at some point. But the overall experience for Hyperia, very good. The soundtrack as well. I love the soundtrack. I still prefer, you know, like Fly soundtrack, Taron soundtrack. But considering it's done by Amascore, of course it's going to be good. The theming, actually, the theming around the ride, it's alright. Potted my mic there. Yeah, it's alright. It's not the best. Obviously, it's not meant to be. It's more stylized, a bit like Icon. It would be better if it was themed, but it doesn't need it necessarily. But yeah, it's a very good coaster. I really enjoyed it. If you haven't ridden it, go out and ride it. Although it's closed, maybe don't go there now if it's... You know what I'm trying to say? If it opens... I mean, I live about 4 hours away and we were going to go back tomorrow just to ride it. That's how good it is. So if you see it open again and you've not been on it, go and do it. I mean, even if you have been on it, go and do it again because it's just that good. But yeah, that is Hyperia. I hope this video went well because I've had to record it about 3 different times because my microphone has decided to corrupt itself, which is just brilliant. But yes, thank you for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video. Goodbye.
Hyperia, find your fearness.